Yo, Carrot Tap podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. I'm going to do a quick video for you. If you're watching this today, as in Monday, you will see that I've also released my shot of MLS, where I focus on MLS football and I just normally get players from the MLS. So I've got that coming out today as well. So if you're watching this before, let's say 5 p.m, you will see a shot of MLS there. So yeah, guys, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Press that like button, comment. Yes, guys, let's get the comments in. Let's do that. So I'm gonna just give you a quick video because it's really late, and we're gonna just crack on. So where to start? Obviously, Arsenal fan. So I'm gonna start with Arsenal, and I'm just really. I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy with that performance against Brighton. I think my thing with this game was that it was always going to be difficult. I think the last two times they've come to Highbury, they might have won. I'm Highbury, flipping out. To Emirates, they might have won. I think that we normally struggle against Brighton. Even if we do beat them, it's always a struggle. And Brighton, even though they're not playing as, well as, we've seen from last year and stuff like that, it's still a tough game. And what I will say about that game is that Arsenal dominated. And Arsenal haven't always dominated teams and created chances on top of that throughout this season. But today was one of those ones where we actually did dominate. And apart from the chances they had in the second half, I think it was, there was one. The main one was Pascal Gross, where I thought that was going in. They didn't really create much, and I just want to single out a couple of players. First of all, Declan Rice, unreal player. His ability to read and intercept passes and just play and get us on the front foot is so good. I'm not going to say too much about Declan Rice because I think I've done enough of that on this podcast. But who else is there? It's funny because Zinchenko didn't really do the inverted thing. I think I saw him in field maybe twice, but he really did play like a left back role today, just stayed left back. And it was interesting to see that. And I think it speaks volumes of how highly Arsenal or Mikel Arteta rates like their wingers and how they play. And for the most part, Adingra was kept quiet. On the other side, Mitoma didn't really have the most brightest of games, apart from there was like a 10-minute spell in the second half when he set up the Pascal Gross chance. But outside of that, I felt like the players really played well. And I want to talk about Kai Havertz and how people were writing him off. And I'm just happy that he's got another goal again today. I'm happy that he's actually performing at a level that is, even if he's not the best player on the pitch, sorry. It's not one where it's like, oh, what's Havertz doing there? Oh. So I'm really happy for him. Another one, Martinelli, right? I don't know. There's this thing going around right now that Martinelli's not playing well. And I don't understand where that's come from. And every now and then Arsenal fans do this, where a player might not be playing at their best and 2 games might go by where they're not at their best. But it's not that they're not playing well, they're just not at their best. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, Martinelli, ugh. I've seen them do it with Saka. I've seen them do it with Odegaard. And I just don't know why Arsenal fans do that. And it's just really annoying, especially when we win. Do you get what I'm saying? Another great performance from Odegaard. I think he was at the heart of everything today. And Jesus played well. Now, I just think we just totally dominated Brighton today. And had we not scored that goal in the second half, when Jesus obviously headed it in from the corner, I think another 5 minutes would have gone by and I would have been like, you know what? We did this last week against Aston Villa. We didn't take our chances, and it's happening again. But thankfully, in fact, I even tweeted that there was something very Villa-ish about this game, and literally about a minute or so later, Jesus scored. So credit given to Arsenal for getting that goal. But on Brighton, Lewis Dunk. Right. So those of you that watch my pod know that I'm a fan of Lewis Dunk. And I remember when Arsenal were linked with like centre backs as like backup options for the 2 that we had. And I remember saying Lewis Dunk, and people were getting onto me like I'm mad. And I don't know if I just really like Lewis Dunk, or that everyone else just doesn't really rate Lewis Dunk. But Lewis Dunk is probably one of the top centre-backs in the league. And he's definitely top 2 centre-backs, English ones anyway. You got Stones, number 1 for me, and then you got Lewis Dunk. He's better than Maguire. He's better than Tomori, but I like Tomori, Gahey. And England aren't really blessed with great centre-backs at the moment. Not to say that those ones I named aren't good ones. They're not to say they're not good ones, but I just think Maguire, no way. I just think Lewis Dunk is a different level, man. And he's a real defender. On top of that, he's mad techie. I don't think people give him credit for just how techie he is. And, you know, when we talk about ball playing centre backs, he is one of those. And even just how he's able to, like, when you're in trenches, Lewis Dunk is the sort of defender you want. And yeah, he's definitely top 2 English centre backs. And maybe, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, yeah, is Lewis Dunk top 5 defenders in the league? Now, that might be a bit of a stretch, top 5 in the league. He's definitely top 10. But in terms of English centre-backs, yes, he's 100% top 2. 100% top 2. But off the top of my head, so you got Saliba, Gabriel, John Stones, Van Dijk, Ruben Diaz. Yeah, he's not top 5. He's not top 5. But he's definitely top 10, Lewis Dunk. But let me know what you guys think about Lewis Dunk if I'm doing too much by saying that. The Ball Fest today, Liverpool, Manchester United. Listen, you see that game today, yeah? Those of you that watched my last podcast will know that I said I had a feeling that United would get something because Ten Hag is going to be kept. He's going to keep his job somehow, and the only way to do that was to not get a battering at Bayern and to get something from Liverpool. So I just knew they would get something. But as much as they got something from the game and it was a really, really good result from them, I just felt that Liverpool approached the game like it was already won, like it was already a foregone conclusion that they were going to win that game. And their performance was pretty much what I've been seeing throughout the whole season, where they're not doing enough. They're top of the table, they're winning games, but they're not convincing. I think they give away too many chances. I think that their attackers aren't as ruthless as they should be. I think that Salah needs a bit of help, because the thing about Salah won't always play well, but you know he's going to score anyway. But I think Luis Diaz needs to do a bit more. I think Gakpo has done all right, but he needs to do a bit more. And Nunes, man, Nunes is my guy, but listen, Nunes needs to start putting away some of these chances too. Also in midfield, there's not the control that I would like to see from a Liverpool team. But I just think that Liverpool aren't firing on all cylinders right now. And as you know, next week they've got Arsenal. And if they play how they played today against Arsenal, Arsenal will win. The problem is, though, Anfield. Literally, if it was any other ground apart from Anfield, I would say, yeah, cool. I'd be confident. But because it's Anfield, I don't know. It's just a bit, that ground's just a bit mad. But that Dallo red card as well, by the way, that was never a red card, especially when Dallo was right. It came off Salah. And that referee is so busy. You have to understand, yeah, like the mind of like a football player. This guy, it's the 93rd, 94th minute or something like that. 94th minute, I think. They're up against it. They're fighting for their lives, trying to get a result. And this referee, who gets the decision wrong, now wants to give him a double sending off 1 minute for dissent, 1 minute before the end of the game. Like, come on. Like, let's be serious, man. There weren't no real refereeing bad decisions in that game, but it's almost as if to say that we got to the end of the game without one. I need to make myself the centre of attention. Like, now Dallo's going to miss a game. For what? Like, and you can't even do anything. You can't go out and say it was wrong. You can't go out and say, okay, we're going to overturn it because it's a yellow card. So I feel bad for him. And also, Kobe Manu. Listen, Kobe Manu. I saw a tweet saying Kobe Manu is on the same level as Camavinga. And I'm just like, why do we do this? I like Kobe Manu. proper. Is it Maino or Maino? Sorry if I'm butchering his name. Really, really good player. You can see the potential there. Like, I've been really, really impressed with him, especially that pass he did to Garnacho, where Garnacho should have done better, to be fair. But let's just stop doing the comparison thing just because he's had a few good games. Just let him get on with it. Saying he's better or on par with Camavinga. Of all players, Camavinga. Like, where did you even pluck that name from? Maybe because they're just both black. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, where did we just pluck that name from? Camavinga. Like, let's not do that. Let him enjoy football, man. Like, we're not gonna do that. But yeah. So Liverpool messed up. They had so many shots on goal, but they were never convincing. And also, Man United had probably the best chance of the game, was it? When I think about it, with Højlund. Yeah, probably. So, you know, fair play to United for getting the result, and Liverpool just need to do better. Man City, listen. You see Man City, yeah? Right now, they're playing like how I thought they would be at the beginning of the season, where you see, after being pushed to your limits, after you've been pushed to your limits in the season before, and you've won the treble, and you know you had to be at your absolute best to get that Premier League away from Arsenal, to ask them to reach that level again throughout the whole of this season, it's so hard to do. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that they've lost a couple of players now I think Man City have lost a couple of players who had know-how, who they could rely on to get them over the line. So Gundogan's gone now. Mahrez has gone now. Who else went last year? Laporte's gone. So like these players who had the experience, who had know-how, they've now been replaced by Kovacic and Matheus Nunes. And these are good players, obviously, and Doku. These are good players, but they don't have know-how. On top of that, they're missing KDB and Haaland yesterday. So I just think that in those moments where you need those clutch players to come out and do something, Man City don't have that right now. You know, last year you could look to Mahrez in the past and just know out of nothing he'll provide something. KDB, out of nothing he'll provide something. Gundogan, remember, he'll just pop up with a goal, and even if he doesn't pop up with a goal, his performance is one that will just drive them on to get a victory. Whereas right now, they don't have that. And on top of that, there's times in games where they look a bit on edge where you can get at them. And there's a reason why when Crystal Palace were 2-1, got it back to 2-1, they knew they could get it back to 2-2 because you can get at this Man City team. And I think they will come good. I think they will become better as the season goes on. I can't see them not improving, but yeah, it's worrying signs right now. But then again, come January, February, that's when they normally kick in. So yeah, so 2-2, they drop points again. The table's looking really interesting. Next week is the decider to see who goes into Christmas on top. Oh no, it's normally who goes on top at New Year's. Okay, but still, first against second next week. That should be interesting. Am I going to talk about anything else? Because I've got another video for you lot to later on today. I mean, another podcast. What else is there to talk about? Chelsea were not convincing at all. You know, Enzo Fernandez, yeah, he's a very, very good player, but he was dropped. I think their midfield is really struggling, which is crazy when you consider how much money they spent. And I was on the Armchair Gaffers podcast, which is out today as well. I was on the Armchair Gaffers podcast, and I was saying that Conor Gallagher, for where they want to be, he's not that guy. Like, you can have him in your team to do the whole intensity and passion and running, but the role he's been given, and in terms of leading the team and being the one to set the press and set the tempo and set the standards, I just think you need better. You're not going to win a league with Conor Gallagher as your main man in midfield, and that's not even a disrespectful way of saying it. I just think that you need better quality players around him who also have great leadership. Because when you look at Enzo and you look at Caicedo, if they're not playing well if they're in the gutter and you need results and you need big performances, can you really look to them? They're good players, but you need someone alongside them who has that. And right now, let me say that right now, Conor Gallagher isn't that person. I think he can become that person, a bit like Henderson was for Liverpool. But right now, I just don't think he's there. So yeah, is that it from me? I think that's it from me. So just a quick video, but you get 2 videos today. I may also go live tonight. But if you don't see the post saying I'm going live, then I'm obviously not going live. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about the weekend's football. Kudus, really playing well. Good player. Aston Villa, oh my gosh, listen. But as much as Aston Villa are playing well, I do think that later, as the season goes on, do you know what? I think they'll finish like 5th or 6th. But there is the outside chance that they could actually make top 4 because they're playing really well. And it'll be interesting to see how they get on in January, February, in them cold months when, you know, the season gets hard and you get the tired legs. It'll be interesting to see how they get on. Because at the same time, they're playing well, but I don't know why no one has clocked that high line and really like exposed it for whatever reason. I just don't understand. Like, teams are giving them this respect that they quite frankly haven't earned yet. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, so the MLS podcast that's coming out, guys, please just like, subscribe, and not subscribe, like and comment on it, because I'm going to be really transparent with you. I'm trying to get that MLS contract. So you guys are a big part of that. So hopefully your feedback will be great and your engagement will be good on that one. So even if you don't watch it, but I want you to watch it. I shouldn't really say that. I want you to watch it. But even if you don't, at least like it and whatever. And yeah, that's with a player, by the way. You'll see who that is, who that player is with. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. I am out.